Hello crafty friends, I'm Lien from Studio Kato and I'm so happy to be back with a video for Seize the Stamp. Seize the Stamp is having a handmade holiday hop, a bunch of Christmas cards from the design team, and there is a giveaway over on Instagram, so make sure you check that out in the description below. Now for this handmade holiday hop, I decided to go wild with one stencil and show you 4 different ways to use it. This is the gorgeous Hero Arts Zigzag Trees stencil, and I really like it. Now I have to be honest, it's not one of those designs that immediately caught my eye, but once I started working with it, I just couldn't stop. Now whenever I get one of these products, I like to just go for the basic approach from the get-go, because that way I can see how the product looks on paper. So I am just going through the stencil like I would use pretty much any stencil. Some rainbow inks on there. I'm using Concord 9th ink, which blend beautifully. I really love these. These are available at Seize the Stamp. And I'm just going through the rainbow. I really like these colors together, and I have to be honest, I just use rainbow colors whenever I don't want to decide on a color. So I just used the rainbow colors, saw how the stencil looked, and then I decided to switch things up. I did cut all of these panels with basic dies from a lot of different companies, and I just did that before I started stenciling. It made it easier to make sure everything was centered on my cards. Now a geometric stencil like this is really easy to center or line up on your card panels, so that definitely helps. And for this one, I wanted to go really clean and simple, so I am just masking off the stencil so I can ink blend one tree at a time. I end up doing 3 trees next to each other. So I started with the center one because that's the easiest one to line up. And then I based the alignment of that one for the other 2. So I did know I was going to do 3 trees, so I made sure that the middle one was the middle shade, so I can go from light to dark. Now it's not super easy to line these up straight, it's not super difficult either, but I did get it a little bit off. It doesn't matter that much, but with clean and simple designs like this, you do notice it when something is a little bit off. So if you're a person that gets their ruler out in the craft room, I am definitely not, but now is the time to do it. Now the third card is going to be a giant Christmas tree. The beautiful thing about triangle patterns is usually they make up more triangles. So with Christmas trees, all you have to do is mask off a part of the stencil so you can make a Christmas tree made out of Christmas trees. Now you can stop here, like I almost did, but I also thought it would be nice to fill up those empty spaces, and you can easily do that by rotating your stencil 180 degrees so the trees point downwards. You can stencil these in different colors or different shades to make it a little bit more noticeable that it's a different layer you're putting on. But if you wanted to really just fill out a Christmas tree like I'm doing here, I recommend just going for the same shades you used before. Now that's 3 fun cards already, and I thought for the 4th one I would do a completely different look, more of a mixed media approach than clean and simple, and I'm using some glitter gel. This is from Gina K, and I'm doing that onto a ink smooshed background. I didn't show you how to make that in this video because there's a lot to cover already, and I wanted to focus on the stenciling, but I will link to a Inky Techniques playlist on my YouTube channel here in the description below if you're interested. So it's a very different look, but really fun, and a very different approach to that stencil too. Now to finish all of these off, I am going to use some more products that I got from Seize the Stamp. This is the Oversized Merry Christmas hot foil plate by Waffle Flower. Later in this video, I will also use the die from the Oversized Merry Christmas. And I am going to foil this hot foil plate right over the tree. And I have to admit, it was a little bit scary because it's not that much time to stencil on that tree, but still, you put a little bit of effort into it, and sometimes hot foiling can go very, very wrong. But this time it worked out pretty nicely. I had a little bit of overfoiling. I just scrubbed that away with a sand eraser. Now this is probably my favorite product in this entire video, and you're not going to see me use it for a long time after this, because this is a great way to mass produce sentiments. This is the Subsentiments Christmas Waffle Flower hot foil plate, and it is gorgeous. So it makes you a bunch of sub-sentiments to go with that Merry Christmas or any other Merry Christmas die you might have. They're perfect for that. And the coordinating die from this hot foil plate also cuts them all out at once. Now I used the solid hot foil plate by Pinkfresh Studio to foil the reverse as well. So my leftover black foil, I foiled that again, and I have double the sentiments now. Now for one of the cards, I am also going to prepare some stamped sentiments, and I'm using the Pinkfresh Studio Ornaments stamp set for that. There are gorgeous sentiments in there. I am going to use another one as well. I used the 3 scripty ones that come with dies, so I love a die cut sentiment. Anytime a stamp set comes with matching dies that also cut out the sentiments, I am very, very happy. And for this card, I am just going to finish it off with a sentiment stamped straight onto the card. So you can see that I made all of these cards at once. I did all of the stenciling at once. I made sure to use the glitter paste at the very last time, so I only had to clean off my stencil really well at the very end. Then I did all of my stamping or hot foiling or both, and then I am going to assemble all of them. I'm using Barely Art Precision Craft glue to glue everything together, and I did have a little bit of trouble. This is the first time this glue has been clogged up for me, but it was very annoying. I couldn't get it to unclog. I am propping up all of my panels onto some cardboard, which is going to give me some very nice and sturdy dimension all the way over that panel. And it saves me some, it saves me from going to the recycling, but it also saves me from using up all of my foam tape. I stacked up that Oversized Merry Christmas. This is the die, 3 times of black cardstock, and then I also added that sentiment strip, or one of the foiled sentiment strips, to go with it. I am finishing off all of the trees with gold stars. These are just sequins I had laying around, and I'm doing this for all of the cards. For that giant Christmas tree, I decided to use a giant sequin star, and the gold doesn't perfectly match that beautiful brass foil from Spellbinders, but it's good enough. Now for this final card, I'm just gluing all of those sentiments on there. At first I was a little bit disappointed that this matching die cuts out all of the words separately, but then I realized it's a good thing because it shows you more of the background you made. Sometimes those sentiments, those coordinating dies for sentiments can just cut out a little bit too much, and you end up covering a lot more space than you intended. And this doesn't do that. It's a little bit more time gluing it on, but it's worth it. I finished that off with a couple of gems, and that's it. These are all of my cards, 4 very different cards, all using one stencil. I used some extra sentiment products to finish these off, some foil, some stamps, some ink, but that's it. It's all different looks that you can get with one stencil, and I didn't even switch up the colors of my cards that much. Of course, there's one rainbow one, but the other ones are all green. You can go through all of the colors your heart desires, or you could participate in the Seize the Stamp color challenge. I will leave that linked down below as well. You can win something with that too. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the hop, and I hope to see you next time.